Turn upside down. You gotta open it. All right, with that, Amagim, which means to stand. Sar, which means to turn. Opanya Hakodam, which means to face the east. And we're going to start with the Lord's Prayer in Lashon Kodash.
Abanao, Bashma,
Bashma, Kodash, Ayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakaka, Ratazak, Ayah, Aisha, Baratazak, Kawa, Ayah, Bashman, the Thundano, Lakam, Ka, Yawam.
Like what?
What's a lot now?
What's a lock now?
What's a lot now?
Kabawathina,
Kawathina,
Kabawathina,
Kawathina,
Walala,
Wala,
Tabi'ayna,
Tabi'ayna,
Panasawan,
Manasawan,
Ball,
Abal,
Aishayna,
Alshayna,
Mayan,
Mayan,
Rai,
Kaya,
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 Laka,
Laka,
Amalakwa,
Hamalakwa,
Wahala,
Wala,
Watapara,
Watapara.
Lami,
Amen. And what we said was, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh, thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth, as it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day
our daily bread.
our daily bread.
Forgive us our debts.
Give us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom.
Thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever. So be it.
So be it. This is the Hakat in the Lashon Kodash. Yahweh. Ba'asham. Yahweh Shah. Al-Kashah. Tanana. Hakat. Hakat. Larapa'ah. Ka Makala. Wakal Marawat. Hakat. Latahar. Hamatazariah. Hakat. Lahakwi. Hamathia. Hakat. Arakawa. Hatama'ala. Lagarashan. Ba'asham. Yahweh Shah. Wat.
The power prayer in English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Please give us the power.
Power
To heal.
to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
All manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
Power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
Power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
Power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
Cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it. Okay, this is the blessings prayer in the Lashon Kodash. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahweh Shah. Wam Yaka'ala. Wa Alahaya. Matazab Ya'ah. Alawap Yahana. Ha Alawapya. Hasaranya. Hakwatazayayu. Hakal Yayayu. Wathia. Yahweh. Ba'asham. Yahweh Shah. Wat.
Amen. And in English, bless you, Yahweh.
Blessed be Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shah.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yahana.
Commanding General Yahana.
The general.
The general.
The captain.
the captains,
the officers,
the officers,
the troopers,
the troopers,
and the sisters,
and the citizens.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh Shai.
in the name of Yahweh Shai,
Thank you, so be it.
thank you, so be it. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 121, in the Lashon Kodash. Aisha,
Asha,
Yanya,
Ayanya,
Afahari,
Ahari,
Mahayan,
Mahayan,
Yaba'a,
Yaba'a,
Azar,
Azariah,
Azar,
Azariah,
Ma'an,
Ma'ayan,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Aisha,
Asha,
Shamayam,
Shamayam,
Wa'aratza,
Baratza,
Al Yatan,
Al Yatan,
Lamawat,
Samawat,
Galka,
Regalka,
Al Yanawam,
Ayanawam,
Shamar,
Shamarka,
Hana,
Hana,
La'a,
La'a,
Yanawam,
Yadawam,
Walala,
Wala'at,
Yayashan,
Yayashan,
Shawamar,
Shawamar,
Yasha'al,
Yasha'al,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamar,
Shamarka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tazalka,
Tazalka,
Al Yad,
Al-Yad,
Yamyamka,
Yamyamka,
Yawamam,
Yawamam,
Hashamash,
Hashamash,
La Yakaka,
La'ayakaka,
Wayarak,
Wayarak,
La Yalak,
Balayala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashamarka,
Makal Rat,
Kalrat,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Abnapashka,
Athapashka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Tazaka,
Tazaka,
Wabawaka,
Wabawaka,
Mayata,
Mayata,
Da'ai,
Wa'ai,
Awalam.
Awalam. Psalm 121 in the English. I will lift up my eyes unto the hill.
I will lift up my eyes to the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh,
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee,
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Yahshua
he that keepeth Yahshua
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade.
Yahweh is thy shade.
Upon thy right hand.
Upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83, in the Lashon Kodash. Alahai,
Allahayim,
Al-Damiyalaka,
Al-Damiyalaka,
Al-Takarash,
Al-Takarash,
Wa-Al-Tashakwat,
Al-Shaqat,
Kayahana,
Ayahana,
Awayabika,
Awayabika,
Yahamayawan,
Yahamayawan,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Al-Amaka,
Al-Hamika,
Yuriyamwa,
Yariyamwa,
Sawadat,
Sawadat,
Wayatha,
Wayata,
Yaitazawa,
Ya'atazawa,
Al-Tasapawanyaka,
Al-Tazawanika,
Ahamawa,
Amarawa,
Lakawa,
Kawa,
Wanakathiyadam,
Wanakakadam,
Magali,
Gaga,
Wala Yazakar,
Walayakar,
Sham Yashal,
Shanyashal,
Iwada,
Awada,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Noah Itazawa,
Nawa'itazawa,
Laba,
Laba,
Yakadwa,
Kadwa,
Alyaka,
Ayaka,
Maryat,
Barayat,
Yakarathwa,
Yakaratwa,
Alyaha,
Ayaka,
Arawam,
Arawam,
Wayashma'al,
Wayashmayal,
Mawaba,
Mawab,
Wahagari,
Wahagari,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Wamawan,
Waimawan,
Wamalak,
Waimalak,
Palashak,
Palashak,
Am Yashabi,
I'm Yashabia,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gamashawar,
Galashawar,
Nalawa,
Nalawa,
Amma,
Ima,
Hayawa,
Ayawa,
Zarawat,
Sarawat,
Bani Lawat,
Bani Lawat,
Salah,
Salat,
Aisha Laham,
Aisha Maham,
Kamadya,
Kamayim,
Kasaya Sarah,
Kasaya Sarah,
Kayabya,
Hayabim,
Banakal,
Banakal,
Koyashwa,
Payashma,
Nashamadwa,
Manjanamadwa,
Yandara,
Bayanara,
Hayawa,
Ayawa,
Dama,
Daman,
La Dama,
Adama,
Sayatamba,
Sayatamwa,
Nadyabawa,
Nayabawa,
Karab,
Kaira,
Wakazabak,
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 Wakatazalmanat,
Wakatazamanat,
Kanasai Kamwa,
Kanasai Kamwa,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Marwa,
Amarwa,
Narasha,
Nagarasha,
Alawa,
Alawa,
Nahawa,
Nahawa,
Alahayim,
Alahayim,
Alahayak,
Alahayim,
Sayatamba,
Shayatamwa,
Kagagala,
Kagalgala,
Kakash,
Kaklash,
Lapanya,
Lapanya,
Rokha,
Rakha,
Rokha, it's like Kaash,
Kaash,
Tabair,
Tabaira,
Yair,
Yair,
Wakalahaba,
Wakalahabat,
Talahat,
Salahat,
Hariyam,
Hariyam,
Khan,
Khan,
Daradat,
Daradatma,
Basairika,
Basairika,
Wabasa, Wapaka,
Babasabapaka,
Tabahalam,
Tabahalam,
Mala'a,
Mala'a,
Panyaham,
Anyahum,
Palawan,
Palawan,
Wayabakwashwa,
Wayapakashwa,
Shamka,
Shimka,
Yahawah,
Yahawah,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Waya Bahau,
Waya Baharwa,
Aya Ai,
Aya,
Waya Kaparu,
Waya Baharwa,
Waya Abadwa,
Waya Abanwa,
Waya the Iowa,
Waya the Iowa,
Kaya Ata,
Kaya Ata,
Shumka,
Shuka,
Yahawa,
Yahweh,
Vodka,
Labaka,
Aya One,
Ayawan,
Alcohol, Aratiza,
Alcohol, Rakazah. Psalm 83 in English. Keep not thou silence.
Keep not thy silence,
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh,
Hold not thy peace.
hold not thy peace,
And be not still.
and be not still,
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh,
For lo,
for lo,
thine enemies make a tumult.
thy enemies make a tumult,
And they that hate thee
and they that hate thee
have lifted up their head.
have lifted up their head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
against thy people,
And consulted
and consulted
against thy hidden ones.
against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
come
Come,
and let us cut them off
and let us cut them off
from being a nation
from being a nation.
that the name Yasha'Allah
The name Yahshua
may be no more in remembrance.
may be no more remembered.
So they have consulted together
For they have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against
They
thee,
are confessed against thee,
the tabernacles of Edom,
the tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelites,
and the Israelites,
Moab,
Moab,
and the Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
Gabal,
Gabal,
and Ammon,
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
the Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Ashur also was joined with them.
Ashur also joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
And opened the children of Lot.
Salah,
Lot,
do unto them
do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as to
and
Jabin,
the brook of Kaisan,
at the birth of thy son,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor,
They became as dung for the earth.
and became as dung for the earth.
Make their noble
Make thy nobles
like Horeb
like Horeb,
and like Zeid.
and like Zeid.
Yea,
Yea,
all their princes as Zabah
all the praises of Sabbath,
and as Dalmunna,
and as Almona,
who said,
who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us say to ourselves,
the houses of God in possession.
the houses of God in possession.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as the stubble before the winds,
as stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth they wood,
as the fire burneth they wood,
and as the flames set the mountains on fire.
and as the flames set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
So persecute them
with thy tempest.
with thy tempest.
Make them afraid
Make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
and they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
let them be confounded
let them be confounded,
and troubled forever.
in trouble forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame,
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that they may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high
art the most high
over all the earth.
over all the earth.
All right, with that, Sar, go ahead and blow the horn. Go ahead and sit there. And with that, Mashabim, which means to sit. Hey, Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshai Bragatham. Yahweh Shemar Alatan Ba'ashem Yahushai. This is the Isupk. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York in 1969 under Commanding General Yohana. We're here to teach the truth of the Bible. The so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians are the real Israelites according to the scriptures. What we've been going over the past Sabbath services was the story of Joseph and how he went from being sold into captivity into becoming a powerful sub-ruler in the land of Egypt, which just so happened to line up with the time where a famine broke out in the land. And his brothers that are, of course, what we now know today as most of the 12 tribes of Israel, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, as the list goes. What's going on right now, what we just read last week was when Joseph revealed himself and who he was to his brothers. So we kind of left off on a cliffhanger, did we not? And so what we're doing is we're going to go right back to where we left off last class, and then we are in the book of Genesis, chapter 45? Chapter 45 and verse 8. We're going to read that in the Lashon Kodash. So for those of you that are tuning in, that have been listening into our Hebrew classes, and those of you that want to follow along with what we're reading in the Hebrew, get the Bible Hub app and go to the interlinear version and then scroll down to the chapter and verse that we're on and the book that we're on so that you can follow along in the Hebrew as we read it. We will read 7 verses, and then we're going to go back into English and read in the English as well. Go ahead and get started on that.
Okay. This is 45. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 45, verse 8. Wahata, la'a, atam, shalatam, ataba, kanacha, kaya, alaham, oh, yeah, halahayim, washa, no, wayashai, ya, manya, la'ab, para, wala the one, laka, baitaba, wamsa, baka, arashza, marazayim, verse 9, maharawa, wa ailwa, al, abaya,
No, come back.
wamaratam, ala aiwa,
Aliyahu.
alayawa, kaha, amar, bankara,
Anak.
banak, awasa, shabanaim, alaham, ladawan, laka, matazraim, rada'a, alawa, ala'ai, la'a,
Aliyahu.
tayamat, verse 10, wa aishaba,
Shabbat.
mayashbat, baratza, kashwa,
Kasha.
gasha, wahayat, wahay, awata,
And he shall be.
it's waha,
Yeah.
yayat, karawab, alaya, atakha, akhya, wabanakwa, abanya, banakwa, watza, nakwa, watzaza anak, waba, kwa, rakwa, waka, wabakwarak, waka, ashar, ka. Verse 11, waka, lakalat, daya, atakwa, shum, kaya, arwar, hamash, kamash, shanayim, raiba, pun, taurash,
Oh, wait, no, it's not.
Tarash, Ataha, Wabayatat, Waka, Ashar, Ka. Verse 12. Wahanaha, Anaka, Mahana. I, Yakam, Yakam. Ayan, Yanakam. Rawat, Wa Anai, Yan, Naya. Akaya, Akia, Panja, Banyaman, Kaya, Paya, Khadabar, Lakai, Layakim. Verse 13. Wahagadam, Labanya, Da, Ka, Kabawat, Daya. Bamatazaraim, Wata, Ka, Ashar, Rayatam, Wa Maharatam, Wahai, Wa Radatam, Ata, Abawa, Kana. Verse 14. Wayapa, Ila, Sazawara, yeah, Zoraya, Manyaman, Kawai, Akiawa, Waya Bakwa, Wabanyaman, Baka, Ila, Sazawa, Iwa. Verse 15.
That's it. Go ahead and go to the English, but I want you to back up to verse 5 because I want to recap on what was just going on. You know, like I said, when we left off last week, it ended on a cliffhanger, a heck of a cliffhanger, because it was a cliffhanger that's been building up over I don't know how many chapters that we've been reading, right? But now it's starting to show what's going on. At the moment that Joseph had his "I told you so" moment, he couldn't really bear it because his brothers were pleading with him about the sake of their father and his good health, right? How worried he was about Benjamin not making it back home. So Joseph needs to come up with a solution fast. And this is what his solution was. But read again with verse 5 on down.
Okay. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 45, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Now therefore be not grieved, nor angry with yourselves,
Mm-hmm.
that you sold me hither. For God did sent me before you to preserve life.
That's a very positive way of looking at things. Even when something bad happens in your life, you have to look at it in a way like, man, listen, things may just work out in the end. Because God, you know, they were talking about God's plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is the Most High's plan for you? Honestly, you as long as you are being righteous, as long as you are showing long suffering and showing endurance for the trials that you go through, the Most High open up something for this whole path to change. The whole thing would change. We've seen Joseph go from being a slave to being thrown in prison to then becoming an advisor to the Pharaoh in the land of Egypt over all of everything, just because of him staying the course. You know what I'm saying? And him having the right mindset to talk to his brothers at this time reminded them, listen, we knew this. I already knew this was coming. Y'all just didn't believe me at the time that I mentioned it. So don't be mad that this happened, because this is proof that the vision was true. The vision that he had where he would be ruling over his brethren would be kneeling before him, that this is exactly how this is playing out. And it's them in shock. And if you go a couple of verses above, you don't have to do it. The brothers, they can't even respond to him when he told them who he was, because it was hitting them at that moment that he was right this whole time. But they still got problems. Why? Because there's a famine going on in the land. They don't know how long it's going to keep going on, but Joseph knows how much longer it's going to go on. Because remember, he's in that position because of his ability, you know what I'm saying, to break down dreams and to understand the meaning of things. And at the same time, him maintaining that righteousness, put him in this position, and a righteous leader will make a decision that's going to be beneficial to the people that he cares about. So go ahead and read.
Okay. Verse 6. For these 2 years had the famine been in the land, and yet there are 5 years.
You see that? He knows, because he said it was going to be 7 years when he talked to the Pharaoh about his dream, right? So he says, it's only been 2 years, and y'all have already had to come over here where I'm at. This is the second time y'all have had to visit. But it's going to be 5 more years of this, and so we got to have a more permanent solution for y'all, because y'all are my family. Go ahead.
Okay. And yet there are 5 years in which there shall neither be earing nor harvest.
Earing is talking about the corn, right? Where you're not going to get any production in crops. They prepared for this well in advance, for years of this happening. Go ahead.
Verse 7. And God sent me before you to preserve you a posterity in the earth.
This is heavy, because this happened so that you and I could be called Israelites today. This event took place so that everything could lead up to the events of you being born within this bloodline, that the Most High made a covenant with his people. Without Joseph's perseverance, none of us would have even be where we're at. But because he was somebody that understood purpose and vision and what it takes to endure to the end, you and I can call ourselves an Israelite right now. That's how important this story is in our nation. It is a pivotal point of our history. And he said, what? Read that again. Okay.
God sent me before you to preserve you a posterity in the earth.
Meaning a position in the earth, an inheritance in the earth. That's why God made all these things happen. You understand? Just like how the Most High had Christ go through what he went through. The Most High had Joseph go through what he went through to be a savior for his family. You understand? So we got to take our troubles with gladness, like the scripture says, because it gives us a chance to be more like Christ. It gives us a chance to be more like the great men before us, like Joseph, who, although went through much trial, although went through much pain and suffering, is for the benefit of all of us, and we can't be selfish. We cannot be selfish. We have to think about the bigger picture. Go ahead.
Okay. And to save your lives by a great deliverance.
I'm talking about being a savior again for his people. A great deliverance is them being delivered from the famine that's going on in the land. You understand? And who knows what else? You know, keep going.
Okay. Verse 8. So now it was not you that sent me hither, but God.
There it is. He understands that the Most High is the one that put him through everything. So he's not blaming his brothers, because he understands his purpose. Go ahead.
Right.
What's up?
So like we shouldn't blame our tribulations on the people that put us through it.
Well, think about it like this. We've been oppressed by the oppressor for so many years, but was it his fault we were put in the captivity in the first place?
It wasn't his fault.
The Most High said in Deuteronomy 28 that this is what was going to happen for us breaking God's laws, right? Now, again, I'm not trying to take any heat off of the oppressor, because he's going to serve his punishment, and he has definitely gone even further beyond what he was supposed to do. Scripture talks about that. How he took things to the extreme, in the time where where we was going through our punishment. It's like he did his job too good. The thing that he was created to be, he served it to the T, and there's so much suffering amongst our people because of what he did throughout all of hundreds of years of us being in captivity. And here we are now, people that have no idea who they are generally as a nation. Do you understand that every captivity that our people has been in, except for this captivity, we actually had an idea of who we were or who we are? But in this captivity, we have to resculpt the minds of our people to then at least knowing who they are. And you can't even begin the process of healing a nation without their identity. And he went through the extreme of making sure we didn't even have our identity in this captivity. But it goes back to the point. Read that scripture again.
Okay. So now it was not you that sent me hither, but God. And he had made me a father to Pharaoh.
He said he had made me a father to Pharaoh. What does that mean? What do you think that means? Like an advisor, like a role model to him. Somebody that the Pharaoh can trust. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that the Pharaoh can learn from. Go ahead.
Okay. And Lord of all his house, and a ruler throughout all the land of Egypt.
And so he has all this. He has this. What do you call it? Pool in the land of Egypt to have the ability to take care of who he sees fit. And so he has this ability. And of course, these brothers, they're seeing their younger brother above them ruling over all of Egypt, and it's a very humbling moment for them. You understand? And so the same thing that you got to keep in mind too, the men that you labor with, you want to make sure that you stay humble throughout the whole process too, because the Most High may be moving somebody to be above you, and that's his process. You can't go against that. That's the way that things are supposed to happen, and that's how it's going to happen. Because the Most High has, every time we come back on this earth, we are at a different level in our growth, in our spirit. But just like how the scripture says that age is not what is important, but the knowledge and wisdom that they have, that's what's important. This is an example of that, a prime example of that, because again, Joseph was the younger brother, one of the younger brothers. And so their older brothers, being carnal minded, didn't understand that this was the Most High's will. But now they go understand, because now they have no choice but to go with what he says. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 9. Haste ye, and go up to my father, and say unto him, thus said thy son Joseph.
Damn, can you imagine that? Your sons come back and they say, remember that son that we thought died? Your son Joseph, go ahead.
God hath made me Lord over all Egypt.
Damn, your son Joseph has a message for you. He's a ruler in the land of Egypt. That son that ran away from home, or that got lost, I'm throwing an example out there. Imagine like a long lost brother coming up to you and saying, oh, by the way, man, I'm going to take care of you, man. I came up and I ain't forgot where I come from. I'm going to make sure that everybody eats.
Right.
Now I got land out here. I got mansions. I got crops. I got everything that you could need. And I see y'all struggling right now, but I ain't going to leave y'all behind. Can you imagine if they put you on like that? How thankful you would be for that?
No.
Now everything's falling into place. That's exactly what's going on right now. Things are falling into place for Israel to make their move. And again, this goes without saying. We know what happens to Israel in Egypt. But this is the moment where there's a sigh of relief in between storms. Because we understand that Israel will eventually become great in the land of Egypt to the point where the Egyptians will start to look at us differently. And then rulers change place. And then motives change place. And then before you know it, the land of Israel, of course, or the people of Israel would then start to be, persecuted by the Egyptians. That comes later on. We know that because obviously the story of Moses, right? The Exodus from Egypt. We're actually getting close to the book of Exodus. We've read Genesis, 45 chapters of Genesis. We're on the 45th chapter, and we're getting now to the Exodus. And so this is the setup for it. Just like any good saga, any good movie, any show that you watch is going to have high points and low points and cliffhangers. And this is what happened last time on Dragon Ball Z. Now you coming back in and then you continue in the story. This is the story continuing. And so there's just a moment here I guess you could say a happy ending, at least temporarily, right? Because everything that happened back then was written aforetime, was written for our learning. And so we're going to see those ups and downs. We're going to see our people showing signs of greatness and making mistakes and doing all the things that lead to us being here today. And so let's go ahead and continue there. Keep going.
Okay. Come down unto me, tarry not.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 10.
Go ahead.
And thou shalt dwell in the land of Goshen.
So he's giving them land. He's telling them, bring the whole family. Go ahead.
And thou shalt be near unto me,
Mm-hmm.
thou and thy children,
Mm-hmm.
and thy children's children.
So he's saying he's trying to set them up for life. He's trying to help. He's basically giving them a portion of the kingdom of Egypt. That's a big move. Keep going.
And thy flocks,
Mm-hmm.
and thy herds, and all that thou hast. Verse 11. And there will I nourish thee, for yet there are 5 years of famine.
That's why he's doing it, because he understands and has the foresight and the vision to see that this is not over, that they're going to keep having to come back for more and more resources. And so to make sure that his family survives, he wants to have them closer to him so that he can nourish them and give them the things that they need. They just made a come up, the whole family. Imagine, you go back home and you give this report to your father. And it's not done. He's not done. He's going to make sure to make it an easier transition. Because you're telling people, imagine somebody coming and tell you, pack up everything you got. You're moving into this mansion with me. Or I'm going to give you a mansion close to mine. Or you're going to have some land out here. You're going to do it, right? But it's a big life changing locations like that. You got to move crops. You got to move people. You got women with babies that are still crying. Joseph understands that too. He's going to prepare them for that. Go ahead.
Lest thou and thy household and all that thou hast come to poverty.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 12. And behold, your eyes see, and the eyes of my brother Benjamin, that it is my mouth that speaketh unto you. Verse 13. And ye shall tell my father of all my glory in Egypt, and all that ye have seen, and ye shall haste and bring down my father hither.
That's what he's talking about. He's basically letting them know. He says, behold, your eyes see, and the eyes of my brother Benjamin, that it is my mouth that speaketh unto you. Read 13 again.
13?
Yeah.
Verse 13. And ye shall tell my father of all my glory in Egypt, and of all that ye have seen, and ye shall haste and bring down my father hither.
He's ordering his brothers to get pack their stuff and get over here quick, because this famine is not done. They could believe him now. He's credible now, because he says it's going to be 5 more years of this. And when they got that news, that only adds to the information that they now have to work with. They're going to tell their dad, yeah, we got to get up over there. Joseph says it's going to be 5 more years of famine. You think they're going to believe him then? Yeah, they're going to believe him then. Just like how even though they didn't believe him when he mentioned that vision of him being over him, they're gonna be forced to believe him now. They got to trust their brother. And Israel or Jacob has to trust his son. And he's going to be, you can imagine the feeling he's going to have when he finds out his son is actually alive. Let's not forget about that. That's a big moment for him. You know what I'm saying? And his brothers, the ones that put him into captivity, obviously they might be worried about getting in trouble about this, but everything played out the way it was supposed to. Right now, they just need to make moves. You always got to be willing to make the move that seems uncomfortable to survive. That's one thing that you'll recognize in the theme of the story here. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 14. And he fell upon his brother Benjamin's neck and wept.
Uh-huh.
And Benjamin wept upon his neck. Yeah,
because it was a little emotional moment there. That's just they share a connection of what? Having the same mother who passed away, right? And so he ain't seen his brother in a long time. And so they had their little moment. Go ahead.
Verse 15. Moreover, he kissed all his brethren.
Now, what does that mean? Give me that back in the Hebrew. Because we ain't Christians and we ain't Romans. Because Romans, they'll take that term right there, and then that's why they do all that weird stuff in the Catholic Church, in the Greco-Roman Empire. because they read our text and their translation of it is that of a weaker language. We talked about that yesterday about other languages being weaker than the ancient Hebrew. That was verse what, 14?
15.
Oh, we weren't even supposed to read that, but I'll get it anyway. H5401, the word kiss means to put together. Comes from the root word nashak, which means to kindle or to fasten together. So when it says that, it's not talking about them kissing like with their lips. It's talking an embrace.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the scripture says to greet each other with the holy kiss, which is when we do the salute, right? We do the salute, and then what happens immediately after the salute? We usually dab the brother up, and you do the embrace. That's what it's talking about. That's when you're fastening there real quick, just like this little, you know what I'm saying? Because that's part of our culture. Our culture is a culture of nourishment and connection with people. Not in no soft homo way like the other nations, like alternative ways like the other nations. But then he showed that to his brethren even after everything that happened, and that gave him the reassurance that, you know what, maybe this whole thing will work out after all. Now we're gonna go back to the Hebrew and we're gonna get another 7 verses. Go ahead and get that.
Okay. The book of Genesis, chapter 45, verse 15. Waya Nashakwa Laka Akiawa Akia Wajabaka Alakam Wahara Ya Ka Barwa Akiawa Watawa Atawa. Verse 16. Wahaka Nashamaya Bata Bayat Paraya Lamar Bawa Aikia Hausa Yausa Wayayatab Wayayatab I Yanaya Paraai Wabai Yanai Abba. I Ibada Yawa. Ibada Yawa. Verse 17. Wayamar Paraya Al Yawasa Amar Al Akia Akiak Sahad Ashwa the Ainwa the but I ya Rakam Wala Kawa Bawa Asa Zaha Ratza Kana Iwa Kanain. Verse 18. Wakwa the Abayakam Wata Batakayam Kum Wabawa.
Which one? Your households?
Yeah.
What's that? You come?
But the Yakam. Bawa. Alaya. Wa Ata Naha. Akam. Abda. Tabwab. Arsa. Aratza. Matazarayim. Waklawa. The. Club. Hatazarayim. No. Haratzu. Verse 19. Watacha. Zawa. Ya. Tacha. Sachtha. Ashwa. Kwaha. Akawa. Akam. Maratza. Matazraim. I Galawa. The Bakam. Walasham Kam. Wanasha Dum.
Walanashia come.
Walastia Kam. Wanasha Dum. The Abakaim. Abatum. Abiyakam. Verse 20.
Oh, wait. What was the last one you were doing?
Mhm.
Oh.
See?
Okay.
Verse 20. Wa I Yakam. Akash. Allah. Klayakam. Kayakam. Kaya.
Oh.
Kaya. Wa. Wa. How. Arza. Matazraim. Lakam. Hawa. Verse 21.
That was the last one.
This one or 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 22.
Yeah.
That's the last one. Right?
All right.
Right.
What I no. Well, yeah. Aishwa Khan Kawa Banawa
Yeah.
Banaya Yashrala Wayatwa
Payatan.
Wayatan Laham Yausa Galawat Al Paya Paraya Wayatong Laham Zazdaha Zadarak.
That's it.
All right. Most High in Christ. Let's go ahead and get that in English. Genesis 45, start at verse 15.
Okay. This book of Genesis, chapter 45, verse 15. Moreover, he kissed all his brethren and wept upon them. And after that, his brethren talked with him.
So he's chopping it up, man. They just kind of, catching up on things. Now they can actually really level with each other now that everybody knows what's really going on, right? Because at first, Joseph was the only one that knew that he was Joseph. His brothers didn't know that was the one they sold into slavery. And so now that they're all on the same page, now they can really kind of actually be brothers again. You know what I'm saying? And that was a moment of brotherhood right there, because it was the reveal, and then it was like the what do you even consider that? It's kind of like a reunion of sorts. Can't be a real reunion when they don't know who he was, right? But now they actually reunited as brothers. So that was a moment that was important to Joseph, right? Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 16. And the fame thereof was heard.
The what fame? The fame thereof. Come on, we know this. Israel, especially the women in Israel, they love this. The fame thereof was what? Go ahead.
Was heard in Pharaoh's house, saying, Joseph's brethren are come.
You hear what I'm talking about? That's talking about gossip. That's talking about word of mouth, right? When it says the fame thereof, that means word got around quick that everyone was like, did you hear that? Joseph, that's family right there. They couldn't do. They're like, oh, what? And then it started spreading out. So it's like the fame thereof was heard in Pharaoh's house, saying, Joseph's brethren are come. Go ahead.
Okay. And it pleased Pharaoh well and his servants.
They got to understand, though, the Pharaoh really did care about Joseph, because he saved his entire kingdom. You know what I'm saying? So when something positive happens for your right hand, treasurer, that is like, this is fantastic. I gotta let me step in and make sure to roll out the red carpet for this family that he needs help taking care of. Like, look, he took care of me and my family, and our whole kingdom is better off for it. Powerful now, all this trade, all this good, everything's going great. The connection between the Egyptians and what would soon be the nation of Israel was actually a positive thing at this point in time, right? It wasn't the when we think of Egypt, we think of the slavery and the building of the pyramids and being whipped and being, brought low in a land where we were captive, right? But right now, at this point in time, it's a completely different situation. So the Pharaoh of the land is saying that. Go ahead.
Okay. And it pleased Pharaoh well and his servants.
Yeah.
Verse 17. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, say unto thy brethren, this do ye. Lade your beast and go. Get you unto the land of Canaan.
The land of Canaan. The Pharaoh's telling Joseph, lade your beast, meaning load your stuff. Lade means to load. You know what I'm saying? You got your work beasts, the donkeys and the ones that carry a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? The ones that can pull things, and get things around quicker. They're saying load it ain't no different than saying load, pack your stuff, load your truck, and come on through, man. That's what the Pharaoh was saying, but back then we used beasts to get around. Go ahead. Okay.
Verse 18. And take your father and your households and come unto me, and I will give you the good of the land of Egypt.
Yeah.
And you shall eat the fat of the land.
Right, you're gonna be eating all right. Ain't just gonna be corn for y'all. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get the good reserves. Your family's gonna be well off. You know what I mean? Imagine going into HEB and just getting anything you want, not having to pay for it. Because the owner of the HEB is cool with you. He's like, yeah, man, listen, there's a bad storm about to hit. The shelves about to be empty, but go ahead and get what you need first. You got first dibs. It's kind of the mentality the Pharaoh's extending that hospitality to Joseph's family. He's like, go ahead and get what you need, man. We're going to give you the fat of the land. We're going to give you the access. Y'all going to enjoy yourself. Y'all just make it down here. Go ahead.
I told you about that brother I met from Cuba.
Yeah. You talking about the one that gave you the lift?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about them?
That's the same thing here. Like they only the rich and the
Damn.
power get to
That's heavy.
eat good. Everybody else, they just eat a little bit of chicken, a little bit of rice and beans.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy.
That's what that reminded me of just now.
That's a good explanation, because it's like the difference in this situation is that they had access to that upper echelon of society because of who they know.
No.
That's why they always say it's not about what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah.
It's always like that in our captivities. You know, but the problem is people that know the people that are in the higher ups in society, like America or in Babylon or, you know, Assyria, that those captivities, that our people that were the leaders there, they were not the people that deserved to be leaders there. But what happens when a good leader is the one that's in the know and knows the top brass of a society, like Joseph? Israel's taken care of.
Yeah.
That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? Shouldn't be the LeBron Jameses and the Jay-Z's that are making decisions for Israel with billions of dollars at their disposal. It should be people like Commanding General Yohana, who would actually then take that same level of humility and humbleness to make sure that everybody eats, not just a specific family.
Right.
You know what I mean? But of course, when we say in specific family, we're talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. And so Commander General Yohana would make sure that that money isn't used for access things and overindulgence. It would be spread in a way that's efficient enough to take care of as many people as possible.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Come. Verse 19. Now thou art commanded, this do ye. Take you wagons out of the land of Egypt for your little ones.
Yeah, because, you know, those beasts, they pull wagons. You know, they had wheels on wagons. Makes it a lot easier when a woman doesn't have to walk on her feet all those miles. Right. Woman with a newborn baby, a baby can't walk, so someone's gonna have to carry him, and that person's gonna get tired of carrying him. So the wagon's there to make things easier for that transition. You know what I'm saying? Take them wagons for your wives and your little ones. Go ahead.
And for your wives, and bring your father and come.
Go ahead.
Verse 20. Also regard not your stuff.
Yeah, don't worry about bringing all your stuff, right? Don't get caught up in all the things that you have. We're gonna give you new stuff. You're gonna get new clothes. You'll get better clothes. You get better cattle and everything. Go ahead.
For the good of all the land of Egypt is yours.
Good night. This land that they were just going to desperately for help is now something that they have complete access to. You know what I'm saying? Like that's got to be a huge sigh of relief. You talk about Jacob or Israel being anxious about the results of this trip. How's it going to look when his sons come back to announce that they're going to be well taken care of by their long lost brother? That Jacob's long lost son is now in the position to make sure that everybody gets to eat and that everything's going to be okay. Because the leader of a household, that's what he's focused on more important than everything else. That everybody is taken care of and that everything's going to be okay. You know, nowadays it's the rent paid, the lights bill on, we got food in the pantry, we got, you know, all the things that we need. Back then it was a little different, right? It was, do we got crops? Do we got land? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do we got supplies for our women that are taking care of the nursing children and everything? So this is kind of like you have to put yourself in an ancient world for a second here to understand just how, you know, the things we take for granted, like water and rice, you know what I mean? That those were so vital to our survival back then. And then we're going to have those things and more. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 21. And the children of Israel did so. And Joseph gave them wagons according to the commandment of Pharaoh, and gave them provisions for their way.
He gave them provision too, right? Because they need to go make the trip. Go ahead. That's the end of that. We're going to finish the chapter today. We'll go ahead and finish it. So go ahead and go back to the Hebrew. We got some time.
Because we have to also find an event to do.
We'll have time.
Are you sure?
It's about to be noon right now. Yeah.
Because all of them start like 1. I'm looking at.
Let's make it quick then.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Because that'll set us up for the next chapter for the next Sabbath service. So go ahead and read.
The book of Genesis, chapter 45, verse 22. La Kalum, La Tawa, La Aisha,
I've my copy.
La Pawat.
Oh, what? What you changes?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you didn't.
Shamalat,
Shimala.
Walaba, Nayam,
Alabani Amon.
Walabayam, Nathan, Shalash, Ma'awat, Kasab, Wahmash, Shamalat, verse 24. I mean, Slug, verse 23. Walaba, Waya,
Alabayam.
Walabayawa, Shalaka,
Shalak.
Shalak, Kazadak, Kasaad, Aishara, Kamaraya,
Marham.
Mariah, Nashahayam, Matabawa,
Matala.
Matawa, Matazraim, Waishar, Atunath, Nashatha,
Nashar.
Nashaad, Bara, Walaham,
Balak.
Wamazawun, Labo, Iowa,
Nabiyaw.
Nabiyawa, Nadarak, 24. Wa I Shalak, Kwa, Waishalak, the Akiwa, Wajalakwawa, Wayamar, Alakam, Al, Saragazwa, Bararak, 25. Wa I Yalawa, Mat Maha Mamatzraim, Wa I Yabawa, Arasha,
Aradas.
Aratza, Kanayu,
Kanaran.
Kanaya, Al, Yaikwa, Abak, Ba I Abayam, Abayam, verse 26. Waya Gadwa, Wa, Mamar, I Wada, Yawasa, Haya, Wakia, Hawa, Masha, Bakar, Aratza, Matazariam, Waya, Bakar, Labawa, Kaya, La'a, Haman, Iwa, Laham, Waidabara, Wa, Alawa, Alaiwa,
Ayaw.
Ayaw, Atha, Ka, the Pariah, Yawasa, Ashar, the Bara, Laham, Wayara, Atha, I, Galawatha, Ashar, Shalaka, Shalak, yeah, Wayasa, Lashta, Tawa, Watakawa, Rawak, Yawasa, no, Yankwa, Abaya, Ham. Verse 28. Wayamar, Yashral, Rabbah, I what? Yawasa, Banaya, Aya, Alaka, Wara, Nawa, Nawa, Badaram, Bataram, Amota.
That's it. All right, let's get it in English. Finish up this chapter. It's a good ending, you know what I mean, to this chapter here. Because it ended, you'll see. Go ahead.
Where was it?
Verse 22.
Okay. The book of Genesis, chapter 45, verse 22. To all of them, he gave each man change of raiment. But to Benjamin, he gave 300 pieces of silver.
That's a lot of silver, man. That's a lot. All right. He hooked them up. Go ahead.
And 5 changes of raiment.
Damn. So he's showing a little favoritism, but you know what? That's just, we're going to further solidify the fact that when he gets back to his father, he's going to see he's well taken care of. It's going to help ease his father. Think about that. Because that's what his father was worried about most. And if he comes back home and his father sees that he's got all his silver and all his new clothes, you'll be like, okay, okay, he's alive. But it's not just that. There's more. Go ahead.
Okay, verse 23. And to his father he sent after this manner. 10 asses laden with the good things of Egypt.
Right, there's all kinds of little knickknacks and foods and trinkets and just stuff. Right, go ahead.
And 10 she asses laden with corn and bread and meat for his father by the way.
Just a whole lot. They went over there just for a little bit of corn to come back with all types of stuff, new clothes, silver, crops, all this kind of stuff. Right, go ahead.
Verse 24. So he sent his brethren away, and they departed, and he said unto them, see that you fall not out by the way.
I like that phrase. I'm gonna start using that from now on. Hey, instead of saying, hey, yo, be careful, right? Say, see that you fall not out by the way. You know what I'm saying? Because that's exactly what he meant. Yeah. He said, just y'all be easy now. Take care, right? See that you fall ye not out by the way. Go ahead.
Okay, verse 25. And they went up out of Egypt and came into the land of Canaan unto Jacob their father.
Now, here's a moment now. Go ahead.
Verse 26. And told them, saying, Joseph is yet alive, and he is governor over all the land of Egypt.
Yeah.
And Jacob's heart fainted.
Damn, go ahead.
But he believed them not.
I mean, you talk about an older black man, right? You got to really picture this. These ain't white folks now. These are black folks. Yeah. Older black folks, man, they heart, our people, we got heart problems when we get older. And his heart fainted. He like, huh? Like, he's like, really? Like, he couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe it. But no worries. You know what I'm saying? He was going to faint one way or another. At least this isn't for a good reason, right? Right. So let him get through that, and he'll get through that, and then they'll make their journey. Go ahead.
Verse 27. And they told him all the words of Joseph, which he had said unto them. Yeah. And when he saw the wagons which Joseph had sent to carry him, the spirit of Jacob, their father, revived.
You see what I'm saying? That's like if you ever had, if you go into shock or if you faint, or you know what I mean? go into an episode of some sort, and then you come back, and it's like, okay, because part of it is a mind thing, part of it is a physical thing. Kind of they work together, right? So his father's spirit is revived when he saw all the reassurance that they came back, the proof to ease his mind to realize that, oh, they're not lying to me. This is really happening. We about to be moved over to Egypt. We're gonna be, with the new land and upgraded house, upgraded land, upgraded crops, food, clothes, everybody in the family.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That's a huge relief because he's not just thinking about himself at that moment. He's thinking about these brothers and and his sons and their wives and their children. You know what I'm saying? That he gets to live to that old age to see all them kids just living a good life, not starving, not with their stomach touching their back. You know what I'm saying? That he's gonna get to go out seeing that as their situation, and that's a beautiful thing. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 28. And Israel said, "It is enough. Joseph, my son, is yet alive. I will go and see him before I die."
That's crazy. You know what's crazy? It says the spirit of Jacob, their father, revived, and Israel said, "What is that?" That's crazy. Why does it do that? Why does it call him Jacob when he was weak in the flesh, and then Israel once his spirit got back with him?
That's why.
It's like he became a whole new man. It's like when you get your Hebrew name. And when you still have them tendencies of that old man, you might as well just call yourself that old name. But when your spirit is revived and you going by that name that you got now, that's exactly what Jacob did. He went by Israel right there when he got himself together. Go ahead, what you got to say?
I was just gonna say that you already had said it was like I think you already talking about when Jacob wrestled with the name.
Yeah.
Like his name was Jacob. He fought for that blessing, and that spirit got revived, and he was Israel. He was a whole new person, just like us. Like it says in Romans 12:2, you renewing on your mind. You come into this truth, you become a new person. That old man is now gone.
There was a shift right there because he had a moment of weakness when he fainted, and then he came back and was. I mean, when you think about it, it was brotherhood that brought him back because it was him seeing the wagons and all the resources and that assurance that their son Joseph that he thought was dead is here and announcing his presence again. He's like, "I got you. Come on back down." And he's like, "All right, I'm back to being Israel again. I had a Jacob moment, but I'm Israel again." You know what I'm saying? That you got to hold on to those moments. Count those victories, man. It's important because those are the victories that's going to get us to the kingdom. Those are the victories that's going to let us see a better day. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what he understands that his time is running short. So what does he say? Go ahead.
And Israel said, "It is enough. Joseph, my son, is yet alive. I will go and see him before I die."
That's the end of the chapter. All right. And so that's how it's gonna go. He's gonna make the journey, one last ride to go see his son and spend that time of what he has left over there in a different situation. With all the worry that came from this famine, that now that 2 years, just 2 years of the famine was enough to put them in poverty and to put them on the brink. 5 more years is coming, but them 5 years isn't going to be like those previous 2 years because now Joseph is going to take care of Israel and, of course, Israel's sons, who would be the children of Israel. With that, Magam. Last rally. Close this up right here. All right, with that, R, which means to turn, upon your Hakadam, which means to face the east. We're going to finish with the Lord's Prayer in the ancient Hebrew. Go ahead.
Abenau. Shabbat
Shabbat Shema. Kodash. Hayah. Shanka. Yahweh. Malafika. Taba'at. Rajazaka. Hayah. Aisha. Baratiza. Kawa. Hayah. Hashemat. Tanana. Kabawakina. Kabawakina. Kasalakina. Kabawakina. Wala. Tabiaina. Manasai. Above. Hawashina. Mayan. Ra. Kaya. Laka. Amalakwa. Wala. Watafara. Hallelujah. We said was our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. On earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. Give us our debts. We forgive our debtors. Lead us not to temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. All right, so we're going to turn face to front. At this time, we're going to salute the scrolls. Go ahead and exit that way. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barakah. All right, come on back. Straighten up the camera. Let's turn it. Let's set it down. All right, we'll close out the Sabbath service. What we're going to do is we're going to face the brothers for one courtesy salute. Sisters may have a seat. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barakah, Yahweh Matah, Sar. We're going to turn and face the sisters for one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Matah. Dismiss.